for a friend and client of mine. So just bear with me. I'm going to get this over to him so he can join me. If you have any SEO questions, business questions, or any questions in general, just drop them below and I will answer them. Let me go ahead and get this. I'm going to get this over to you, Eddie. I'm at Carlos. So let's go ahead and dive in. So this website is a website that he is currently working on. It is not complete. So I'm going to give him some advice on how I would build out the website, how I would personally structure the website. Therefore, when it is launched, it will rank and it won't take as long to rank. Generally, when we launch sites brand new, I can get them ranking within less than 30 days. So how do we come into any niche, dominate the city? There's a couple of factors. Number one, I'm going to ask you is like, how many GMBs do you have for this local business? So for me, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the site. I see that it says you're in Mercedes, Texas. So let me go ahead and share this with everybody because he's allowed me to. But let's just go over here to, where is Mercedes, Texas? Okay, it looks to be like a very small area. So I'm not going to think that necessarily you want to rank there. Maybe you want to rank in some nearby cities. Maybe you do want to rank there because you're doing rank and rent SEO, but we'll see. So if this was me and I wanted to rank in some bigger cities, then what I normally do, so normally, for instance, me, if I was in, let's just say Houston. So how do I take over a larger area? Normally we'll be in these smaller areas. Let's say I have an area just, if you will, in central northwest Houston, way up here, or in Humboldt, Texas, but I want to rank in Houston. So what I'll actually do, if I wanted to rank in Houston, I would actually get GMBs in surrounding cities and create pages on my website in those surrounding cities, rank in those. And then once I rank in these, and then I hit Houston, it'll be an easy takeover. I just call it siege SEO. It's where I'm doing a siege. I'm literally surrounding a city and sieging it. All right. So besides that, how are we going to set up this website for best practices? Number one, when you think of this foundation repair, you're probably thinking of maybe one or two things. Kind of like if you think of a hamburger, you're thinking of, a burger, a patty, beef burger, some condiments on it. That's about it. Whereas Google, when they think of hamburger, they think of thousands of variations, thousands of brands, thousands of ways of different to make it. And if you want to be seen as the authority of hamburger makers, you need to write about every subject and cover every subject possible when it comes to hamburger making or hamburgers. The same can be said with foundation repairs. So the very first thing I would do is lay out your keyword map. Your keyword map would be covering every topical relevant subject when it comes to foundation repairs. If any of you guys are listening and you want my ChatGPT prompt for creating a topical relevant map, comment below and I will send that over to you. Now, I'm going to show you pretty much what I will do is, in your case, this is foundation repair. Your primary service is going to be foundation repair, obviously. What that's a business type. primary service area, I'm just going to put Austin, Texas for right now. Key services is going to be obviously foundation repair. Now that could be residential or commercial. You need to specify that. In your case, I'm going to generally say, based on your website, it is going to be residential. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So the prompt: business type is foundation repair. Primary service area is Austin, Texas. Key services, foundation repair, residential services. And I tell it, please generate a detailed, in-depth sitemap structure designed to build topical authority, organize a hierarchical structure, pillar pages, cluster pages, and include the following for each page: title, SEO focus, the URL slug, the service area, the location, the blog, internal linking, what to focus on, what is page support, etc. So this is not your typical prompt. When most people use ChatGPT or any form of a prompt, they're just basically saying, make me a sitemap. And then when the sitemap comes up looking like crap, they kind of wonder, why did it come out looking like crap? Okay, this is just step one. So when it creates this is not the end all be all. Okay, this is just, think of this as your core service or hub pages. A hub page would be, for example, when I click under services, I would have foundation repair, residential foundation repair services, slab foundation repair service, pier and beam foundation repair, house leveling services, because usually that goes hand in hand, foundation crack repair, and foundation inspection services up here. And then when I click on each of those pages, people will either do it where it's a sub menu, or when they click on that page, it takes them to a hub page where every service is listed, which is what I would suggest. Now, pillar 2 is going to be your foundational problems and symptoms, like do you need signs you need foundation repair, cracks in walls and foundation issues. Now, pillar 3 is foundation repair costs and process. Each of these are hub pages. Then we're going to have an entity authority pages, which is going to be like types of foundations in Texas, slab foundation, concrete slab foundations, pier and beam. So like I said, this is pillar 1 is your services, your core service hub. Pillar 2 is foundation problems and symptoms page or hub page. And then we'll cover topics in there. And what we can actually do is every month we can add new pages to foundation and problems and symptoms, because obviously this is not all of them. Pillar 3, foundation repair costs and process. This is more of a permanent hub page in which you would cover all the different foundation repair costs and processes. Pillar 4, foundation types. This is going to be basically a permanent one. You don't have to add to it, but you'd have the types of foundations. Pillar 5 is all your location pages for all the areas you want to serve. Pillar 6 is your facts or knowledge hub for EEAT or EAT to feed the Google algorithm. Pillar 7 is a comparison and decision content, because a lot of people will go into Google and say foundation repair versus replacing or replacement, or piering versus slab jacking, or helical piers versus concrete piers. Okay, and then last but not least, we'll also have a blog page. Okay, every blog needs a link to the main foundation repair page, and every location page links to the core service page plus Austin page. Every service page links to the costs and facts and problems. So always use inside WordPress your breadcrumb feature, which goes from home to foundation repair to service to blog to location. Okay. Now the next thing we'll do, so for example, is all of these services right here, like for instance, foundation repair. This is our main thing, right? And then I'll tell ChatGPT, list out give you, for instance, list out So list out in depth a list of every service Google deems a topic, an entity for the service and niche foundation repair. Then what I'm going to do is this, I will then put all of that underneath pillar 1, underneath services that you offer. Why would I do that? Well, I'm going to do that because you need to cover literally every single type of foundation repair service. And this can actually be done on a monthly basis and constantly adding content because Google wants to see constant updates. Foundational types is creates a Google entity. So you want to create your entities. Entities being covering the subjects that will make you seem as an authority for foundation repair, such as slab foundations, pier and beam foundations, basement foundations, foundation repair methods, foundation repair service problems, and service-based entities. All of this, water and soil, all of this. So as you see, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages that I personally would cover. And what I'm going to do, I will send this over to you once we're done as well, Carlos. If you would like it, just message me and say, hey, yes, send that over to me, and I will do that for you. Now, obviously, that's our core. That's my core when it comes to on page. Obviously, doing all your on page. Obviously, we're going to do that. We're not going to just do content. It's not just content, which is what some people, will, the only thing they care about is content. They think that's the end all be all, and it is not. Obviously, the other thing is we want to run your, mobile. We want to make sure it's fast enough and all that stuff. So I'm going to run it real quick. Obviously, it's going to be should be really fast because this is a brand new site. It doesn't have much content and stuff like that. Now, it's fast. It's 1.7. So that's a good job. But as you complete the site, you're going to want to redo that and make sure it's still fast. Let's see what you built this on too. I'm going to assume WordPress. Yep, WordPress. Okay. So let's go back. Now, once you get on page and all that done, the next thing I do, as you know, and I went over this just 2 days ago, was the 30-page GeoStack. I would obviously do that. The next thing I'm going to do, and I'll be teaching this later this week, is the advanced city page and neighborhood page. So on our advanced city page and neighborhood page, for example, we want to have all the neighborhoods, all the cities in the area. So the way we set up pages are going to be a lot different. They're going to look more like this. An advanced city page and neighborhood page will look more like this. They'll be about the services you cover, right? Have some internal linking images, but then we're going to cover the service areas. All these go to their own pages as well. If you click on any of these, it's literally the same page, but what makes ours rank is all the top sites, interest, and all the geo information we put here. But then we put the neighborhoods, the weather, top sites by interest, and embed a map, embed the reviews. So that's the next thing I will wind up doing. Now, after that, our off-page SEO. I've been doing this for a long time, and we haven't really changed. And I know some people do. They change your method. I just know what works, and it's always worked for us, and it still works. It's going to be this right here. This is an image of our, our stack. This is part of my SEO stack. Some of which isn't on here, and I'll give you the names of each of it, and we do sell it by piecemeal. So if you're not doing SEO with us, you can purchase the pieces or learn how to do it yourself, because I do teach it. Number one, Set up your voice search profiles. That means podcasts. What type of podcasts? Okay, so the podcast stop, and I would tell you, and we do this for every single one of our clients. We're going to set up a podcast on Buzzsprout, Podbean, Spreaker, Anchor, Podomatic, Acast, SoundCloud, Red Circle. Now, once you've done with that, did you set up your foundational SEO profiles or social profiles? Did you set up your Facebook account? Did you set up your Instagram? Did you set up your LinkedIn? What have you set up? Most of the time, people do not have their social media profiles set up. And then if they do, they're not posting on them on a regular basis. You need to be posting. Okay, yes, Carlos, I'll send it to you. So number one, you need to be posting on your social media profile. So if you have it, don't just have it, but actually be posting on it. What should you be posting on it? Post authentic content, not just, Canva crap. What I mean by Canva crap. So someone will hire somebody to do their social media, and then all they're posting is Canva images. There's no authenticity. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are as a person. Remember, people will always buy from you as a person. They don't care so much about what you're selling as you are as a person. Okay. So set up your social profiles, be posting on them on a regular basis. Even Gary Vee talks about posting multiple times a day. When I say multiple, I'm talking about 6-7 times a day. Now, as a business owner, obviously, you don't necessarily have to do that. I would suggest at least starting out with once to twice a day and then scaling. Scaling, i.e. adding more content as you grow your business. The main reason I've seen the difference between two businesses. For example, when I've looked at businesses and I'm ranking them, and you got one business in one city, another one in another city, same competition, same niche, same everything. The only difference is one posts on a regular basis on social media, one does not. This one that posts on social media will rank faster, rank higher, and dominate more space than the person that does not. It's the only thing that I've seen. Good morning or good evening, Lior. How you doing, brother? So those are the main differences. Now, when you look at our stack, you're going to also notice we don't just post on social media. We don't just post on podcasts. We don't just do blogs or press releases. There's a very specific way we are doing everything. Now, did you do your foundational search profile, video profiles, i.e. YouTube? Why would I do it on YouTube? YouTube is the second largest search engine. Also be posting reels. Also be posting those on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere possible that you can. Last but not least, foundational SEO. Now, for me, foundational SEO is not just the technical, the internal linking, the page speed and all that. It's also your content, your topical relevance, which we already covered. Now, number two, and we'll skip this for now, backlinks and CTR. I personally do not any longer use click-through rate manipulation or CTR manipulation. I think most of the people that are selling it, per se, are trying to game the system because they don't even know the basics. I use CTR mainly and only if I get you, let's say, in the top 4 and 5, and I keep pushing and you're not getting in the top 3. Then I will do it, but I don't even use bots and things of that nature. I have other methods of doing it. Now, the thing is, and the ones there's a couple of people I do know, like Mike Merlino and a couple other guys that teach CTR. However, prior to doing CTR, you'll notice that Mike Merlino also has to go through a lot of the very same things that I'm teaching you and I talk about, and I've been talking about for years. Chris Palmer's the same way. He doesn't say just go do CTR. It's, hey, do you got all this foundational stuff done first? All right, so the next thing I do is I set up what is called an advanced G stack. An advanced G stack is going to be all of these entities. And I'm going to show you these entities. So in advance, and some people may not care for this. This is old school SEO. But an advanced G stack is made up of all of these, like Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Videos, Google Forms, drawings, mind maps, Google Sites, all of it. Now, back in the good old days, you could have a public file, and that is the key to these systems. Like if I wanted to make this right here and share this right now with anyone, and hit share, right? You're going to see that it just says anyone with the link is a viewer. That does not mean it's public. Let me show you that again. You hit share, it says anyone with link. That does not mean it's public. So Google years ago changed this from where instead of being public, it says anyone with a link. Now, if you have one of the older folders, what we do is, and you'll see this, any of these folders I've made for the advanced GStack, if I click share, it will say public. Inside of those, we will have every single asset possible that you can think of, made and based on Google. Okay, you see all this stuff, all these sheets, everything's in here. Then MSFTs, articles, the photos, the slides, the PDF, everything, all the entities, all of it. Okay. Now, what is included in each of those G stacks, which makes them extremely freaking important? And these are the keys, if you will. If you look in my advanced G stack, it's going to be, and I'll tell you, give me 1 second. So inside the advanced G stack is you have the Google My Maps, your knowledge graph, MID or machine ID, your SERP entity link, Google Sites, primary money site, your podcast properties, your YouTube properties, your Facebook, your Instagram, all the socials, all the stuff I mentioned, all your foundational backlinks. The infrastructure is a primary folder, your articles folder, your MSFTs folder, your PDF folder, your photos folder, and your slides folder, which if you were paying attention, you would see on this right here, which I've already showed you. Okay. Now, next is we build the Google asset builds, which are going to be your forms, your drawings, your GStack spreadsheet, mind maps, and keyword sheet. Your keyword sheet has at least 100. And I list all this out underneath our website, underneath backlink services. Next is it has the content assets. So every time we do a piece of content, every page, every blog, every press release, everything comes in here. Authority distribution, citations, your entities, your brand file, your PDFs, all that's in there. Okay. Now, next. Besides that, then we create something called an AWS infinity loop. Now, these terms I know are probably not known to a lot of people unless you've been in SEO for a while. Bradley Bennett and them are who came up with it, like OMG, RYS stack, oh my God, RYS, or any of those terms. And you'll see a lot of people that sell a skeleton, unless you buy them from Bradley Bennett or myself or somebody that actually uses it. And this is old school SEO. It's what I've been doing for a long time. Now that we build out, and then every time we do any off-page backlinks, press releases, podcast videos, it all gets dumped into these folders. The AWS or Infinity ID loop is simply a cloud or a host, AWS being a high DA domain name authority site, that we then embed all of the assets from the G stack on. Eddie says, do you usually need access to the account to make the G stack? No, I make it and then we share the folder. Yeah, I know you know the terms. These are old school, true SEO terms, which most people don't know because most people don't actually do SEO. They try to manipulate. Now, let's see, next part. So after we do that, then we do on a monthly basis, we'll do your blogs. Now, what do we do with the blogs? Let's pretend we got all the service pages up, we got all the websites live, we got the location pages, we got all that shit done. So we make monthly blogs. If you're on my premium package, you get 4 a month. That's all you really need, okay? We take a blog, we turn that blog into a YouTube video. We also turn it into a short. We take that blog in the YouTube video, embed the YouTube video on the blog. We then take that blog, turn it into a podcast using AI. We use this right here called Voice Drop, not Voice Drop, but voicemaker.in to make the actual podcast. Okay, let me show you that website. So this is the website we use to make the podcast. It takes credits. I'm not an affiliate of it, so you can go use that anytime you want. Then once we do that, we then turn it into an image stack. We then turn it into a press release. Now, we daisy chain them all together. Daisy chaining them, i.e. breadcrumbs. It's a blog, YouTube video, podcast, and stack it all together, press release stacked. And then everyone chain, all internally linked, all linking back to each other. Then last but not least, once you do that on a monthly basis, you then need to take the same thing with your GMB posts. You take those GMB posts, you take those blogs, you take those press releases, you take those videos, and you dump them into the Infinity ID loop inside your G stack. Now, the reason why we're doing that is because we want to feed the Google algorithm. We're putting all of the assets into a hub. So we're making it easy on the search engines to find out, what do I do? Who am I? Where am I at? What the hell do I do? You want to make it very easy for Google. It's the same thing. It's like Google tells you very much so. If you look at a map in Google Maps, just go to Google Maps and type in, let's just say, roofer, Orlando, right? Who are you? Let's go like Gravity Roofing. Like on here, where are you? That's why I say always show your address if at all possible. Who are you? It's your about us information. Where are you? Right here. What do you do? Is your products and services. Your GMB should link back to your website. Your website should link back to your GMB. Your GMB should mirror your website, vice versa. Don't ever have anything on your GMB that's not on your website. Nothing on your website that's not on your GMB, and link them back together. So that's going to be my suggestion. Once you're done, if you want me to re-audit this, I will. And then I can take a look at it for you and give you some more advice. If you would like to get any of the services that we discussed today, if you just go to wolfforge.com digitalagency.com. You'll see at the top where we cover GMB only SEO, SEO packages. Our SEO packages are website plus local, e-commerce SEO, on-page, web design, press releases, backlink, and content. If you want to get all that content done because you don't want to do it, we also do content. We do up to 1 million words of content. Also on there is the advanced city page, which I discussed, the GeoStack, which I discussed, all of that. Okay, now if you want the backlink services, which we discussed, was going to be your foundational backlinks, your social profile backlinks, your citations, your advanced GStack, your cloud stack, and your Infinity ID loop, Fortress, all this stuff. These are the basics of everything I just talked about today. The only thing I don't use that we sell in any of my SEO packages is the guest posts, PBN links. That is it. The rest of it I use on a monthly basis. There's a one-time setup of the GStack, the Infinity ID loop, the Fortress, and the tier syndication. And the boosters and stuff like that are on a regular basis. But most of this backlinks is going to be foundational. The only monthly is going to be the YouTube, the podcast, and the press release. That happens every single month. So I hope this answered your questions. Let me see if you got any more questions. I have a couple of more SEO audits to do, but those SEO audits, I will actually be doing another one tomorrow and another one the next day, I believe. Let me look. So Eddie, I'm going to send this over to you. And then I have one more for Rana tomorrow, which is going to be Saturday. If you have any questions, drop them on any of my posts and I will do an SEO audit for you, or I'll answer any SEO questions you have, any business questions, etc. It was really good meeting a lot of you guys last night with MJ Lopez at Power Talks. If you want to know, how I can meet you, if you are in Manila, just message me on Facebook and I will give you the link to join the free Power Talks. We do that once a month with MJ Lopez. He's my mentor and he's helped me tremendously in my business and in my life. He's not just my mentor, he's also my partner and friend. So it's good being live today. I appreciate you guys. And remember, if you have any questions, just drop them, message me. We're here to help you and serve you in any way possible we can. And thank you for watching. Until next time, see you guys.